There's only one real reason to use ChatGPT today, and that is GPTs. Forget projects or gems, the rest are okay, but GPTs win when it really matters in specific, repeatable tasks that scale. And in this video, I'll show you exactly why GPTs crush the alternatives, and we'll walk through the exact GPT I built that has increased my YouTube views by 3.2 times in the last 30 days. And I'll show you exactly how you can access this GPT too if you're creating YouTube content. But look, I totally get it. You tried all of the shiny things. Claude projects, Gemini gems, browser extensions, random prompt libraries. They all promise like these workflows and efficiencies, but most of them feel loose and inconsistent and impossible to share with your teammates. GPTs are the opposite. They're rigid, shareable, and built for repeatable, specific outcomes. And so if you're someone who wants predictable results, like freelancer, ops leads, indie makers, or just a creator, this really matters for you. I've built and tested dozens of task-specific GPTs over the years that turned chaotic kind of 30-minute tasks into like 90-second routines and have helped hundreds of business people build repeatable, scalable AI systems for their companies. And today I'm going to show you the 3 design rules that make GPTs reliable and how to build an actual GPT live real time in this video so you can copy the exact same pattern. And by the end of this video, you'll know when to pick a GPT and how to make one that actually gets the results you want. Okay, so here's the GPT that I wrote. We call it the Hook Writer GPT. You'll be able to access this GPT. The link is in the description below. It's totally public and free for you to use. And so what is happening here is it's going to ask for the topic of the YouTube video that you want to create, and it's going to write 3 hook options for you. We'll walk through a demo of it now, but then I'll show you exactly how I built it and the logic behind creating each of the 3 components of a GPT so you can build one for yourself. Okay, so we'll just prompt it and say, hey, I'm ready, ask me for the topic. And so the topic is going to be just a one-liner here. How I adopted the FIRE movement and retired at 35 years old. I'm financially free and living the life of your dreams. This sounds really nice, right? Okay, so now GPT is going away referencing very specific information, frameworks, and methodologies for writing incredible hooks. And it's giving us these 3 hooks. So it knows the core message, audience pain points, unique benefits, and authority. And so here's hook number 1. What if I told you retirement doesn't have to happen at 65? I walked away from the 9-to-5 grind at just 35 years old, and now I'm financially free. Pretty good hook. How about this one? So it follows a different pattern, shock and awe and contrarian angle. Retirement at 65 is one of the biggest lies we've all been sold. I retired at 35. Not because I won the lottery, not because I was a millionaire salary, because I discovered a different way of living. Okay, cool. So contrarian, the first one was a problem, solution, problem with some urgency. And I'll show you exactly where these frameworks come from. And then the last one here is credibility and transformation. By 35 years old, I had achieved what most people think is impossible: financial freedom and early retirement. No more alarm clocks, no more 9-to-5 grind. Cool. Okay, so if you're doing YouTube, you can get, cool, I'm just going to take this and copy this and use it for my next video. And that's exactly what I did in the hook for this video. I used my GPT writer for the hook that I gave in the first kind of 30 seconds of this video. So I'm actually using this, and I've been using it for a couple of weeks. Okay. Now let's walk through the methodology I used to create this GPT, because I think that's more important than like actually using it. But if you just want to use this, a link is in the description below. Please go use it. It's entirely free. Okay. So I started with this in Notebook LM. So Notebook LM is a Google product. Did a whole video on this in the channel. There'll be a link for that in the description below too if you want to check it out. And it is a really great tool for research. So in Notebook LM, what I did here is I added sources, and these are all YouTube videos from some of the best creators that I know in the kind of education vertical of YouTube. So they're not Mr. Beast entertainment style, they're educators. So one is about finance, one is about YouTube, and one is kind of how to make money, entrepreneurship. It doesn't matter, right? If you want to do the same thing, find a couple of creators that you really like that have big channels, so 100,000 plus subscribers, load up a bunch of their videos here as sources. And this is where Notebook LM really differs from something like ChatGPT or Claude, is when you chat with it here, it's only going to reference the sources that you gave it. So it's kind of like a closed LLM, not going out into the internet and not accessing like information from the main model. And you can see what we did here is I asked it, and so just a note on Notebook LM, the chat that I had here previously is gone. It doesn't save any of this. It only has the responses. So I chatted with it in 3 different sessions and asked it to analyze what's going on in these videos that makes their hooks really good. And it gave me a bunch of information here. It gave me kind of the framework for why these worked. And so I said, great, now help me create like a rubric for this and help me create a prompt for my GPT. Okay. So it did all this and it gave me, the last one was like a resource doc that was the specialized knowledge for the GPT. Okay. So then I saved this all, and you can save notes in Notebook LM so you can reference them later because the stuff here in the middle is gone when you leave the session, but the notes persist. So kind of the results of each chat persist. Okay. So then I took some of that and I asked for, so this chat here was, hey, what other information should a GPT have to make it perform really well? And let me go back to ChatGPT and we're gonna edit this GPT. So at GPT, you set it up over here. You can create a new one, or we'll just edit the one that we have here. So there's 3 kind of aspects of it. One is just like the title. The next one is the system prompt. I got this system prompt just verbatim from Notebook LM. This is one of the things I asked it for. So I said, go analyze all those YouTube videos and their hooks. Once it did that, I said, okay, great. Now take all that knowledge you have and create a system prompt for a GPT. And a system prompt, we talked about this in another video, is information for an AI system like a GPT or an AI agent that gives it information about kind of who it is, what its role is, what kind of context it has, what kind of tools it might have access to, and what result you want out of it. And so this is the system prompt. Really long, really specific, right? So don't try to create this yourself. Use AI to create this. ChatGPT has a limit of 8,000 characters here. And so some of this I couldn't fit into the system prompt here. And I said, hey, see attached doc on hook generator doc.pdf. And that's this document here. I then said, hey, there's a bunch more information that I want that my Notebook LM chat had. And it's all of this. So curate a database of shock and awe opening lines. Cool. I agree. That sounds specific. A library of specific benefit-driven promises. I agree. That sounds helpful. Relatable analogies, metaphors, and psychological concepts. Cool. Okay, so all these things, these are like resources or assets or examples that the GPT should reference when it's creating hooks. So then I went over to Manus. Manus is just another AI system, but it's more of an agentic system. And I just said, hey, I'm creating a custom GPT. I need examples and resources to populate it with. Look at videos from channels such as these 3. And these are the 3 channels that I used in Notebook LM. And then I said, expand from there out to find 5 other channels and get hooks from their top 5 performing videos from the last 2 years. And then this pasted context here is just the result of this chat from Notebook LM. So Notebook LM is the research and kind of consolidating some information. You could have put this into like Gemini or something to create the system prompt, but I just did it right in Notebook LM. I think it probably uses Gemini under the hood. And then it went away, and this is doing what's called wide research in Manus. This took hours. I don't know how long. It ran overnight. And it went and looked at these channels, found the most popular videos, got the transcript from the video, pulled the hook out, and put them into a doc. So this is a really long time. It did all this stuff. And so it said, hey, I've found the top performing videos from 8 highly performing YouTube education channels, extract their hook and opening segments. Then it put this all into these docs. So the analogies doc, the empathy and validation phrases, content roadmaps, and it gave me all of these assets just like I asked, right? So this is the curated database of shock and awe opening lines and problem statements, right? Okay, cool. So these are just examples for now my GPT, and I loaded all these into my GPT. It can reference all of these examples. So it's not just pulling out of thin air these really great lines that we want it to. So with an AI system, You want to give it really clear instructions, and you want to give it really clear context and examples for it to follow, right? Context and examples are two of the elements of really great prompt. And that's what we're doing with all of these documents here. Okay, so that's how we created the GPT. So you just save this, it's publicly shareable, and now you can come in and ask it anything, and it will create incredible hooks. And so to me, this is just exactly how and where and why you would use GPTs versus Claude projects or Gemini gems. The other thing is I can share this. I can share this with you. Anyone with a link can see this and use it. Copy this link, I'll put it in the description below so you can use it as well. Now, if you want to see how Man has helped me really crack the rest of the code of viral YouTube videos, check out this video over here.